everywhere else where black people are found. It doesn't matter their accent. They can speak the best English they want to speak, best accent, as long as the color of their skin looks like mine, they will be isolated.
Welcome again to another episode of the WSXM podcast. I don't know, my name is Teflon, so welcome. Let's dive into it. So, Julius Malema was giving a lecture in university, and he was talking about why we Africans and black people hate our own, fight against our own the most. But let's take a listen to the lecture, and then we're gonna dissect it a little bit. So let's take a listen.
Today, you look at a fellow African, you listen to the pronunciation of a fellow African, you listen to the name and the surname of a fellow African, and by that you isolate them. You look at them and say, these are not South Africans. These are Nigerians. This can be Miss South Africa. This can be that. Marfel Yoon can be a player of rugby, South Africa, and get celebrated. No one will dare to question, where does this surname of Felyoun come from? Because we've been made to celebrate that which looks down at us. Anything that looks like you, you hate. Anything that sounds different from you, you hate.
So I'm gonna stop you right there for a quick minute. Julius Malema is so 100% spot on with this when he said that we are made to hate which look like us, and it was shown in the Miss South Africa pageant. Look at who won. It was a white French descendant lady, Miss Mia, young girl, Miss Mia not Lebel, Leroux. Her name is French. Her name is not South African. I remember originally the original issue with Miss South Africa, to the mayor, it was her. They said that her name was South African enough. So if her name is not South African enough, how is it Mia Leroux is South African and she's white? So this is what he's talking about. We are made to hate, which looks like us, but that we like the other race. That's in they have that. Some of them still have that. Not all South Africans, but some of them still have this apartheid mentality that whites are better in the position of power. So, like for instance, the DA party, Helen Zille, which is one of the most powerful women in South Africa right now in politics. She's white, one. Two, both her parents is German. So she's accepted as a South African with both her parents is Germans, but they oppose the young lady from that's her father's Nigerian. But that's a whole another issue. Kind of rooms again, but just show you that what Julius Malema is saying is 100% correct.
You know, comrades, the concept makwere comes from the tribalists who could not hear the other ones. When you speak, the tribalists, they say they don't hear you, but because they can't hear your language. When you speak, they hear. So you can't use that. You can't use that to want to rule out individuals. Comrades, we are hated everywhere else in the world. Everywhere else where black people are found. It doesn't matter their accent. They can speak the best English they want to speak, best accent, as long as the color of their skin looks like mine, they will be isolated.
So, I stop it there again. Stop it again. But as he said that we are hated everywhere in the world. This is a fact. If you watch any news channel anywhere in the world, you see how we are being treated, how we are being targeted, how laws have been passed for every other race except us. We help other race to fight the battle, and then when they get their result, they turn against us. Look at recently when the Biden administration, along with Kamala Harris, who is black, by the way, signed into law a bill to protect Chinese from being attacked after the whole COVID thing. Up to the day, for the past 400 years, we black people cannot get a bill passed for discrimination against us up to today, but within 6 months, a bill was passed for the Chinese. That shows you the mentality of the world. We are like the world was built on our backs, but yet we can't get any rights. We cannot get any relief. But other races are getting it, and we keep fighting the other races' battle while we need to stick to our own. Anyway, let's continue listening to some.
You get isolated to a point where even when you go to China, a young person who has never been exposed to a black person, when they see you, they start trying to clean you. But it looks like you are dirty. Because that's how we're being looked at. So where do we get the privilege with so much hate happening against us? Where do we get the privilege to hate on each other? If the unity of Africa is not important, why are they fighting against it so much? If it was this useless thing that has got no meaning, why is there such a big fight? They know that the only way they could conquer Africa, they had to divide it. They divided Africa. They gave it to all types of countries to manage. Our coming together is a threat to Europe. It's a threat to America. Our coming together, it means one currency backed by our mineral resources. And that currency will be against the dollar. And it will be more powerful than the dollar. Our coming together means one parliament, which means there will never be pockets of dictators who take over governments in Africa through a barrel of a gun. Why? There is one body which makes laws for the whole of African continent. There are no separate laws. There is one president for the whole of Africa. There is one military command in the whole of Africa. When they say they are rebels at the border of Rwanda and DRC, we call on the African command to go and make peace at that part of Africa without asking for the UN to come and help us.
So yeah, that's the end of his speech. And what is Julius Malema is saying at the end that the world is afraid of Africa United. This is a fact because since the alliance between the Sahel countries, which is the AES Federation, with the Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, there's so many economical sanctions against them, so many destabilization attack against them, so many assassination attempts against the leaders to show that the fear they have. What happened with just Julius Malema is talking about the one currency. Gaddafi tried it. And look what they did to Gaddafi, the president of Libya. Look what they did to him. Libya was was like a beacon in the world for democracy. Not democracy for democracy. They had free education, free healthcare. They didn't pay bills like how we pay bills, light and water. They had drastic, like they pay like 25% of whatever the cost they consume. When they get married, they get $5,000. Every person get a home. Every time the country sell oil, the citizens get a percentage of it. So every other country is striving to get what Libya already had. And what they did, Libya President Gaddafi wanted to have a currency backed by gold, as what President or what Julius Malema is talking about. And what they did, they come together and they assassinate him, the Americans and the French. That's what they did. Assassinate him, man, because he wanted to better expand what he's done in Libya to other African countries. If that was done, the Africa would need the world, and then they would have to literally bow to Africa and beg Africa for resources, like opposite now. So this shows you they are afraid of Africa unite. United Africa is a juggernaut, which is a fact. This is why they have over 12 assassination attempts on Abraham Traore, Burkina Faso, and Tini of Niger. Not Niger. Yeah, of Niger. So ECA was fighting against the Sahel State Federation The African Union is fighting against them. The EU is fighting against them. So they have so many economical sanctions. They have multiple sanctions on them, and they're still striving because what? They cut all export of raw materials out of their country. So what now? They're using that now to benefit their citizens' lives. And this is what Gaddafi did in Libya. What the country was, and the Americans and the French and the external forces are so good at manipulating people through the media, and they have control of the media, that they use the media to discredit Gaddafi. And if people listen to this information, and then after he was taken out, 11 years on now, they said people who helped agree with the outside forces and get rid of the Gaddafi now is crying, cannot see peace up to the day because what they go against their own benefit because of listening to what white people. They do not trust their own color people to take care of them, which was happening, but they are suffering. Whose fault is it? Because they listen to the white man, the colonizers. So anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I don't know as always. I don't know. Tell a friend. Like, comment. Thanks for watching. Boom.